The next step is to combine our explosion as well. Let's go to a frame where the explosion happens. It's at 14:32:33. On this particular frame, we want to make sure that we have the explosion visible and also the ejection of gases that come from the pieces that go away from the point of explosion here. So let's actually fix a little something here. If you remember, we put a blur on the helicopter just to make it a little bit less crunchy. And then we combine the glass. So we'll just take this and change the merge operation to take into account the new glass. So we have that going over the rest of our pyro elements. And we also have this additional element, which is further down, which is the effects explosion, debris, fire, smoke. And that guy here, what we'll do is we'll combine it with a helicopter so that it remains a logical group. This goes with the helicopter here. And we'll just simply disjoint over this one, this element with the rest of the nodes that we see here. So we'll just create a merge node, M. So the A here, B there, and in here we'll say disjoint over the same way that we have done earlier. And we'll combine, take this and put it on the merge, the rest of the merge operation here, which combines all our pyro passes. And here we'll take the opportunity of reorganizing our nodes a bit cleaner, same deal, put a backdrop. And the way we can do that without having to change the color of the new backdrop, we can simply control, click, and drag on one of the backdrops and copy that, Control C, Control V, and we can put this right behind the helicopter, utility pass, heli explosion, and explosion debris, fire, smoke nodes. I'll rename that. And now we have a new set of nodes right below the first set of nodes, neatly arranged. There we go. We have now the beginning of a pump which has more elements put together. Start seeing how this all fits together here. This is looking not too bad. So we'll make some additional color correction changes and things like that in a second. But let's continue by now including the RPG. If you remember, we had a 2-frame render of the RPG, which I brought in, I believe I brought it in earlier. It might have been lost in my shuffling of nodes. So we can bring it back in again. So read, R for read, go back to the render here, render effects RPG. It's a 2-frame render, 1429, 1430. Open. And remember, we don't want to hold the frames before and after. So we're going to change this to black and black. So it will only be visible for 2 frames. Really, this render is not going to be super visible. Obviously, 2 frames that are super motion blurred. Let's go to 1430, which would be a good frame where we see it. Take a look at that. It's right there. Okay. And we'll just grade it up a little bit more. So put a grade node right here on pre-mode by alpha, and that will be it. Let's take the gain. We can take the gain up a little bit, something like that, just so that we perceive it. And we'll put that right there. In fact, this one doesn't need to be disjoint over. It can just simply be an over, but all of that is going to go over the entire plate right there. Right, let's put a backdrop on this guy here. See if I can control, click, and drag on this. Place this here, and this block here, we'll call that RPG. Double click there, G, and then we have yet one more layer in our cone.